Hello YouTube. Again, this is Max One Chase One. Today's video is going to be on the predetermining checks if you have a XP electric trike to determine whether you have a bent rim or a bent axle on the XP Trike by Lectric Bikes. I will go through some of the steps so you can check before you contact the Electric Service Department to give them your decisions on whether you have a bent rim or either a bent axle. And as long as your bike is within warranty, they will compensate you with either a new rim or either they may exchange the entire bike because of the axle disassembly is a little bit complicated. So stand by, I'm going to show you how you can do pre-checks to determine whether you have a bent rim or a bent axle. Okay, let's get started. First, what you want to do is to get you some type of material that you can raise the bicycle wheel off the floor. Make sure what material you use that it does not interfere with the disc where the brakes are located. So as you can kind of see, the tire is off the floor. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, at how we can determine whether the wheel is bent or either you have a bent shaft. Now what I want to do, you can either turn it by hand or either you can use the engine throttle and throttle it and look at the wheel to see what's the deviation is coming from. I will demonstrate. Turning the wheel by hand, you can kind of see that there is a wobble to it. Then I would turn the bike power on if you want to go that route. And you use the bike's power and turn the wheel. As you can see that there is a good considerable amount of wobble in that wheel. And now since we can kind of see that we have a wobble in it, we can look at the other version to find out, is it the wheel or is it the axle? Now when you get to the wheel, what's behind this little rubber boot cover or this cap are these items here. Once you remove this rubber boot here, which is the same here, you have this. It's made out of rubber, helps keep out water and dirt. Next you'll see will be the wheel screw, and it's got a lock washer on it. You can see a shim that's going to go in there to kind of fit the circumference of the screw, which would be just like this. And this will screw right into the axle. And this little pin here is like a timing pin like you see on the lawnmower to keep the engine in time. And this will lock the wheel into a certain position so it won't slip. And that is what keeps the wheel from spinning. Now to remove that screw, you will need an 8mm Allen wrench, just like this here. And you notice that this one does have some Loctite on it. So once you put it in, that Loctite will help hold that wheel into the axle so it wouldn't come off. Alright, let's go through the steps of removing the wheel off the trike. First of all, like I said, we're going to remove this rubber boot. You can just squeeze it, then take your finger and pull it right off. 8mm wrench, Allen wrench. You may have to block it with your leg a little bit. Okay, it was on a little tight, so what I did, I went and got me this is a 7/16" wrench with an open end. Put it in there like that, and that gives you a little bit more torque to wind up and be able to unscrew that. Alright, so now we'll unscrew it. Notice how when it comes out, I will show you how it will appear inside the bike. Notice, here's the screw. Here's that shim I was telling you about. But I don't see the lock washer. Oh, the lock washer, I'm sorry. The lock washer is here. It was on the inside of this bushing. This is the lock washer. So when you get ready to put it back on, it will go in this fashion. The screw, lock washer, the small end facing out, and the large end in the back against the axle. Notice on this one, this is the original screw that came with the bike. It don't have any Loctite on it. So now the wheel is free to come off. So I'm gonna pull the axle back toward me, and what I'm doing is riding against that shim, that locking shim. Now also too, watch your fenders a little bit, because it might want to rub the tire against the fenders. Then the tire slides off. Let's take a look and see if we can see inside here where I was telling you about that locking pin. You see that channel that's right there? That's what that locking pin is locking with to keep the wheel in a certain position. Now take a look at the wheel, at the axle, and you kind of see they have a this shim pin that's right here. You might have to just tap it just a little bit to kind of get it to flex out. Notice as it comes out, it doesn't come in no position of which way to put it back in there because it's completely square. It can go in this way, that side, either this way or either that way. It's all universal for the same side. Alright? Now for to test it, since we have the axle, the wheel off, let's test it under power. And what we're going to do, we're going to look at this axle here to see if this axle has a wobble to it. And if it has a wobble to it, then you do have a bent axle that is not true throughout the whole shaft. Alright? Let me set that up and start it. And you have to do this under the electric bike motor power. As I turn the power on, you can see that shaft just got a teeny tiny bit of a wiggle wobble to it, but I would say that that is not enough to say I have a bad axle and I would send the bike back. Again, what you can do, you can find yourself a given point and see how much the axle is actually wobbling toward a certain point. I know my hand is not the best to hold it in the world. Let me see if I can put it with this stick, with my pointer. Does it show it? I can't tell it and film it at the same time. But that's how you would determine whether you have a little bit of a bent in the axle or not. Now, after I made the determination that I do have a bent rim, not a bent axle, I contacted Lectric Bikes Service Department, and I showed them the video of me showing the wheel and the rim, which I think that they was glad that I did it like that. And they made it determine, yeah, you do have a bent rim, a bent rim. And they went on and they sent me another rim and tire all in the same box. So it's gonna come in a small thin box like that, and the shipment came through FedEx, not UPS. Now when you open up the box, you'll see that there's the tire. Here's the packet with the rubber hub cap and all the screws and the pins, all that in this little bag. And they put foam on the outside and on the inside, so as it goes through shipping, that it won't get damaged or bent or warped out of shape. So once it comes out completely intact. Even the tire had air in the tire. It wasn't that full, so I did have to put a little bit of more air in the tire. Now also too, when dealing with these trike bike wheels, remember you have a inside and an outside. So you notice that there's a hollow portion in here where that spacer goes. It goes on the inside of here. It cannot do it on this side. See, because this is a flat surface here. So make sure if you do have a bent rim on the left or the right side, make sure you determine which side of the bike it is bent. Alright, then to put this back on, it goes right back in the same fashion as I took it off. And I will show you that as well, how easy it is to take the wheel off and reassemble the wheel on a Lectric XP Trike. Okay, let's reassemble the XP Trike rear right wheel. Before we get into that, I do want to let you know, not only along do you look for the open hole here, which means on the outside, but also on the tire. It will say somewhere on the tire rotation, so it shows that this tire spins in this direction, so it tells you that this is the outside. Alright, first of all, I said let's put our shimming pin in, or either our timing pin as I called it once before. Again, it doesn't make no difference which way it goes. Line the shimming pin up with where the shimming pin is in the axle. Slowly push it back onto the bike. Push it in where it makes a click noise, so you know it's all the way in there to the axle. Take your bolt assembly. Make sure you have the lock washer already pre-assembled in, and push it all the way in. And this goes right into the axle, right through the rim of the bike to the axle. Screw it in by hand first, as much as you can. Now if you want to push this in, you can, but if it screws in with the bolt, that's fine too. If it goes so far, then I'll follow through with the Allen wrench and continue to screw it all the way on in. And once it get kind of hand tight, then I will flip it, brace it with my legs, take my 7/16 inch wrench or any other type of open end wrench you have, and put a little bit of torque on it, just like you would do in any other bicycle, and just put it on there kind of tight. And after that is on there tight, then you can spin it and see that there's no more of a wobble to it. And I am a happy camper. And now I will put the dust cover back on it. It goes on just as quick as it went off. Put it in on the bottom first. squeeze it in, and pops it on. And there you have it. And now my wife is a happy camper. The bike is gray, so she calls her bike the Gray Goose. So she pointed out to me about the rim being bent, and I had the obligation to go ahead and fix it. Alright, so now I'm back on good terms. You might want to straighten your rim up a little bit if it did make any deviation when you took it off. And these rims here are made out of plastic, which I'm glad they are plastic instead of metal. Again, if you like this video, like it, share it, give me a comment, share it with your friends or people who have electric bikes. Again, since we've been riding our electric bikes, riding a regular bike without pedal assist, it ain't happening. So if you haven't gotten an electric bike yet, I do highly recommend you ought to get one. And I'm not a spokesperson for electric bikes, but this does make you want to ride and you enjoy the ride. Again, this is Max One Chase One. Max one thing out, chase another one. Thanks for watching.